Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm Tyler LeMasters. We have a lot of new viewers on the show right now. So if you don't know what the Pulse is, we are basically talking to people from Spokane about their experiences. And this show represents that perfectly. We have Maisa, who is the head chef and director of Feast. And we've been friends for a while now.
Yeah.
With your family, you and your family, we've been friends for how long? 6-7 years?
Around 6-7 years.
Around 6-7 years. Yeah, and you guys are doing fantastic things. It's been really fun to watch you guys grow over the last couple years and make headway. But for the people who don't know you, tell us about how you got here, because you are a Jordanian refugee.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
What was that like, that experience of coming over here, before we talk about the amazing stuff you're doing over at Feast?
Yes, I came here in 2013 with my family and 2 kids.
Mhm.
2 kids and my husband. It was a little bit difficult, even if I was speaking the language.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different culture, different laws, different rules. So it took us for around 1 year to discover new things. After 1 year and until we got our paper, I worked with the district Spokane Public School as a bilingual specialist. I'm speaking
That's right.
Arabic as a second language.
Well, before we get too deep, what made you want to come to the U.S. from Jordan?
So to be honest, the situation in the whole Middle East is not a safe place to live.
How old were your kids at that point in time?
I used to have 2 girls. One of them, she was 5 years old, and the second one 2 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were young.
Yes. And I was looking to just give them chance to have a better life.
Yeah.
Which is I couldn't achieve it in my country, which is sad. We have a really good qualification and certificates.
Yeah.
But sometimes circumstances and things going on surrounding you.
Oh, what did you do in Jordan for work?
Actually, I do have 2 certificates. I have a bachelor degree in information technology. I used to be a programmer. And I have another certificate as a broker, financial market broker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing, isn't it? Is refugees come from other countries and they have massive amounts of qualifications in different fields.
Yes.
And you hear about doctors coming from India.
Yes.
And then having to go back through med school or just find another profession. And you're in tech, which I don't know if people realize it, but tech is so big in the Middle East, especially along that coast, Jordan and Israel and Syria. There's a lot of tech companies out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And now you come to the U.S. and what do you do? What do you do for work?
So I start before 5 years ago as a bilingual specialist with the Spokane Public School, and I really enjoyed it. The last couple of years, I'm a substitute teacher also. I'm good in math, so I'm subbing for between a whiles.
Yeah.
But before 2 years, you heard about those laying off some people from the districts because they don't have enough budget in Spokane Public School, and I was one of them. So that's how we came up. We came with Feast idea. So it's a little bit longer story, but I start looking for another chance. I start looking. Hey, I'm ready to have my own business. I'm just feeling sick to keep going here and there, and I decided
You're ambitious.
Exactly.
You and your husband are actually some of the most ambitious people I've ever met.
Thank you so much. So when in this situation, when I start looking for a food truck, It was a little bit complicated, either the regulation and the law, how to start a new small business, or the cost, or different kind of things for someone
Yeah.
have another language. So even if I consider myself, my language is really good, it's still hard to me. The other part, the costs, when you want to start a business and it will cost you to start $100,000, and you
the
don't
startup
know.
fees are really high. Yeah.
It's so expensive for someone who doesn't know if his food, people gonna like their food, my food, or
Mhm.
other issues. So
Did you guys started up in a food truck, right?
So actually, I was looking for food truck to
Mhm.
own my food truck, but it was a little bit expensive, and my husband put me in a situation. Are you serious? You're gonna take loan now for $100,000, and we don't know how it's gonna work or no. So
Yeah.
in the same time, I told myself how other people make it outside. So I start walking into some food trucks, ask them how did they start, and that how I met Ross Carper. Ross Carper, he's the executive for
That's how you met
Feast World.
Ross. Yeah.
Yes. And it was really a funny question for him. Someone just show up and ask him, "Hey, how did you buy your food truck?" And he asked me why, the reason that why I want to know how did he buy, and I explained the situation for him, and he was really generous that to give me a chance. He was doing a breakfast wagon
Yeah.
up South Hill. So he told me, I'm doing a breakfast. I think if you want to just try, you can rent the truck and see how it will goes.
So he was doing breakfast, and then he'd give you the truck, and you'd kind of do lunch and dinner somewhere else.
Yes. So
You had a really interesting story, or a really interesting thing happened to you when you first started that truck.
yes.
You start the truck, and it was going okay, right?
Yeah.
It was going okay, as a lot of new businesses go. Sometimes it's hard to get new clients and stuff like that. But the food's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've been eating the food for the last 7 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Best Arabic food in town. But you have this truck, and then all of a sudden you start to get some people, not too many, but a couple people who are saying unsavory, unkind,
Yes.
racist things about you,
Yes.
and the truck. What happens after that?
So this was a little bit scary part, that hey, I live over here more than 7 years till now, and I never hear those comments, and I never live a real situation that hey, racism things. But at the end, Spokane community are really amazing.
Yeah.
One or two of them, they have those bad comments,
Mhm.
but hundred of people, they just show up and wanna support and wanna make me feel safe and
So like
welcomed.
a couple days after those comments were
Yes.
online.
Yes.
I remember you were telling me that, you had some friends that reached out and said, I'm
Yes.
so sorry that this is happening,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And then days later, just lines of hundreds of people outside of the food truck waiting every day just to have your food,
Yeah. Yes.
It's amazing. It's
It is,
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you guys are not in a food truck anymore. You're in a building.
Yeah, that's how we came up with the idea of Feast. There is Dan, a co-founder. There is Ross. There is a couple of people who are also neighbors to me up South Hill. They were talking about, hey, this community needs this place that make some immigrant or refugee feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And we start doing before 2 years some kind of catering jobs. We used a couple of commercial kitchen, not commercial kitchen, actually church kitchen. First Presbyterian Church offered other church, they offered their kitchen to do some catering jobs, and it was amazing, and people loved the food from couple different chefs also. The things that last year when we start, when we have this building, First Presbyterian Church have this building, and they rent it for us so cheap, just to support us with a good start.
First Presbyterian's always been great about
Yeah.
those kinds of things,
Yes.
helping people in the community.
Yes,
Yeah.
and COVID suddenly happened, and we have to stop everything. Catering stopped, everything stopped. So it was a little bit last year. It was a little bit scary for everyone to be outside or dealing with food or anything
Yeah.
with COVID. But after a couple of meetings, we decide just we can run out the business as a takeout instead
Yeah.
of catering or gathering. We can still sell our food. And we start in last year in April, the first takeout, and I'm the one who started it, which is a little bit, it was scary how I'm gonna make sure that, say, we're safe, me safe. It's not just, I do have family I do care about. So
Yeah.
it went so good. We take care of all disciplines and safety tips. We used to have some tables outside. The customer, we're gonna send build the food outside on the tables, and the customer can carry the food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are just doing takeout
Till
right now.
now,
And so
yes.
you guys have people pre-order the food,
Exactly.
right? And someone orders maybe 250 dishes on a really good day.
Yes.
Yeah. So 250, and then you guys fulfill the order. It's always the same meal, right?
Yes.
And where are your chefs from? Because like Jordanian.
We do have a couple of Mediterranean chefs. We do have all over. So our plan now to cover all over the world. We do have African. We do have a couple of African actually. We do have Chinese. We do have Colombia. Till
Wow.
now we serve around 38 chef, and
Wow.
we still meeting. Actually today I have another interview for new 2
Oh
chefs.
my gosh.
Yes.
Are they all just where do you find these people? Are they immigrants? Are they refugees?
So there is some peoples they already cooking and they want to share their traditional food with the community.
Mm-hmm.
There is a couple of them they never cook. They just cook for their family,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanna just to make it work because they lost their job during COVID.
Yeah.
So we're giving it training, even if those chefs are not
Yeah.
trained, if they never cooked quantities, we're giving a training for them.
You know what's going to happen, right?
Yes.
So what's going to happen, this is my guess, this is what's
Uh-huh.
going to happen. You guys are going to, because you're already seeing a lot of success, right?
Yes.
You're selling out all your meals every day,
Yes.
right? And you're opening up an outdoor area, which is great.
Yeah.
People are going to have a lot of fun there this summer.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is you have so many chefs,
Yeah.
and a lot of them don't have any formal cooking history as far as like commercial kitchen cooking history, but you're giving it to them.
Yes.
And so my guess is that they're going to all start branching off and making their own restaurants over the next couple of years,
Yes.
which kind of makes you the mother of
I hope so.
you're going to be like the mother of this ethnic food restaurant movement in Spokane.
I hope so. So the idea also, we do have some a couple of chefs. They already own a restaurant in their own country, but either for the language or for money issues, they couldn't start or running business. We do have a couple chefs that they have a really amazing food, and they need those kind of food. They need to be here in Spokane,
Definitely.
the community need this food. There is another thing that's other more than business training. It's a language training. So actually we're gonna start on March 15. We do have workshop with couple organization that will help and support those chefs. They
Yeah.
already with us, or they are interested to help them either with the language, and we're focusing on the language because as an adult you're so busy just to go to school and learn some languages, some
Yeah.
stuff you're gonna need, and some stuff are not. So we're focusing in this part of our training is business wise. What you're gonna need, the language part, and your business wise, either for food, for the kitchen, for catering, those kind of things. And the other part is going to be a business training for those who have really good languages. I still need some kind of a training in a specific area, which is there is really good person in Spokane. They can be as a guest with us, some kind.
I gotta tell you, my grandma's she grew up in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Born and raised there, went to the University of Puerto Rico, then graduated, came to Indiana where she met my grandfather. And she's been here. So I say that to say she's been here since she was probably 25. She still has the thickest accent. And I can understand it just fine. It's just the way grandma talks. But I talked to some friends and like, what did your grandma just say?
Yes.
So,
that's
you
funny.
know, sometimes you just can't get rid of the accent. And she speaks perfect English. Like her grammar is perfect. She knows more about grammar in the English language than most people do.
That's
but she's got a thick accent, you know.
Yes, we're gonna keep sometimes my kids laughing on my accent, but I'm gonna keep it.
Well, your oldest daughter, she doesn't have an accent, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Okay, this is silly, but I looked something up that we talked about last week. We were talking about the hookah.
Yes.
The hookahs inside.
Yes.
I mean, what's more culturally normal to a lot of these countries than just having hookah everywhere? You know, it's just culture. But smoking indoors is illegal in Washington State.
Yes.
And you were asking me about that. I found out that it's actually because of it's a state law that was passed in 2005.
Yeah.
That just bans all smoking around public facilities, which stops it from indoor. But I think that's very interesting because, you know, when you start getting really strict with laws, you're going to override different cultures. You know, and I really think it's a violation of culture by making a law that stops people from doing something that, you know, they would normally do culturally. How great would it be to have hookah at your place?
Yes, I hope so.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. Well, anyone who wants to get some good ethnic food, Feast is across the street from First Presbyterian Church on 3rd. It is fantastic. You can get Indian food, a variety of Arabic food, African food, Chinese food. Pre-order it. Where can they find it online, or how can they pre-order?
If they're gonna go to the website, feastworldkitchen.com.
Okay, feastworldkitchen.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure org.com. Let's make it sure.
They'll find it. They'll find it. And then Instagram. You guys have an Instagram.
Yes,
how can they find you there?
It's the same Feast World Kitchen. If there is a Facebook page and there is an Instagram page on with Feast World Kitchen.
Okay. Feast World Kitchen. feastworldkitchen.com. Let's go, guys. I mean, this is what it means to support local. So go get some food there. It's literally the best food you're gonna have in Spokane. I can vouch for that. So.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful. It needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Pulse. We are where you are. Check us out on any of these other platforms as well as our website. This show is sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Homes for You, and Apex Cannabis.